folks who haven't yet had the pleasure, Mary, would you mind sharing a little bit about your journey to get to real estate and then your journey thus far in real estate?
So the journey to get to real estate, I don't know what Brandon told you, but I always tell people it was a fluke. It was never something I talked about as a kid. It was nothing I thought about as an adult. It just kind of happened. I got a job with a realtor who I knew his assistant through just a job that I'd had. And he's like, well, if you want to work with me, you have to get your license. I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Like, that's not a big deal for me. And he's like, I'll pay for it. I was like, all right, great. So I was in the real estate world before I'd gotten that job, but I hated it because the realtors, I would work on I was working with photos and sign installs. And so the realtors on the other end of the phone, they were horrible to me and they were so mean and they were so snappy and like, oh, I need all that. And it was just horrible. And I was like, who wants to be a realtor? Like, these people suck. And so then Brandon he worked on the same team as me. We started at KW and he was doing the marketing for the guy. And we were horrible together. We thought we could never work together again. We were convinced we were toxic for each other. I mean, this man had us just hating each other. Wow. So we got let go from that team. And then him and I went to separate teams. That lasted 60 days. And then we realized his sphere of influence was just insane. I mean, he had people calling him every single day. Hey, I heard you got real estate. Like, I want to buy a house. And this was literally in the beginning of COVID, like right in 2020. And so we were like, all right, cool. And so I was writing his contracts while working on another team. And he was out showing homes while working on another team. And we were in the process of building this house and didn't have any bills or anything because we'd moved in to be with our parents while we built the houses and saved up money. And I was like, what are we doing? Like, why are we not doing this ourselves? You know, which a lot of realtors say that. And it's a naive comment. Just because like you should not just jump, like we didn't have a dime to our name. And like one of the biggest responses that realtors give is, what should I do if I want to start my real estate full time? They tell you save 6 months of expenses. And we were in the process of literally contracting on this house and had no money to our name. And I was like, let's just do it. Like, I'll do all the paperwork and then the client stuff, and you can just go show homes and get the clients. And so we are believers. And so we kind of just gave our business to God and we're like, it's yours, do what you want with. If we make it, great. If we crash, we don't have any bills because we live with our parents right now. So we jumped in June of 2020 and sold 17 homes the first 6 months, 30 the first year, 60 the second year. And then in 23, we did a little under 40 because the market shifted. But it's been pretty impressive. We're extremely blessed. We just iconed again this month for the 5th time. So iconed every single year we've been in real estate, which is huge. But we never, ever, this was not a plan. Like, we never woke up and like, hey, let's get into real estate. Like, it just happened. And we just ended up being really good at it and loving it, like just genuinely loving the entire process. And so, I mean, we live and breathe it, and it's not really work for us. I don't feel like it's work for me, and he doesn't feel like it's work for him. So we're kind of just coasting through life on this fairy tale, honestly.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that his sphere of influence was insane, I think is how you said it. Yeah. So when you think about your database and your sphere of influence, what percentage of your business today comes from that?
I'm not the numbers guy, so that's him. I would say probably from just our sphere of influence alone, I'd probably say about 70%. Or if they're not, like that would include like referrals from our sphere of influence, right? So like we last year and the year before, we did 43% of EXP referrals. Just that was our business alone. It was just EXP referrals. And then we don't buy leads. We do have some partnerships within EXP with some of the programs that you guys offer, but those are pay at the table. So all of the other business that we're not doing is all 100% referral based. And it's from past clients. It's from friends who know we're in real estate who aren't going to buy, but have friends who know that they want us to use them or whatever. So, I mean, it's about 70% of our business is people we know or referrals from people we know.
That's pretty substantive. So if I ask you, are you using a CRM today?
Yeah, we use Lofty.
Okay.
Yeah, we use Lofty. So Brandon and I, our roles are completely different within the team, which is, it works really well. It helps us to balance really well. I don't touch anything on his side of the team, and he doesn't touch anything on my side of the team. I am licensed, and we're a domestic team with EXP, but on paper, I don't make anything. I don't produce.
Okay.
So everything's in his name, because when we were in the process of buying the house, everything was already in his name. And with the way the income made sense, it's like, well, we can't change it to my name. So everything's just in his name. But I stay licensed so that I can have conversations and I can be here and represent and all these things. But he does all of he looks at the numbers, he looks at the income, he looks at the iconing, he looks at all that. I literally just spend the money and love on our clients and hang out with them and make sure that we have more business with the people that we've already sold business with.
Got it. When you, in a wet thumb in the air, by the way, is perfectly acceptable. Just round figures are easy enough. But I'm going to ask you, when you look at your database and then your sphere of influence in your database, first of all, do you see those as two separate things? And if so, what's the numbers in each, generally speaking, about how many people are in your database overall? How many people would you consider in your sphere of influence?
So we share Lofty. Again, because I don't have anything, and it would just get so chaotic for him and I to have separates. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know the numbers completely. Just the CRM is literally, that's his world. It stresses me out. I don't look at it. So it's so bad. And for people that watch this, like, don't do this. I do not recommend it, but my CRM is literally my phone.
Okay.
And it's not great. It's not organized. Like, we have Lofty, we use it. He uses it. He gets the business. So that's why he uses it. I don't go out and get business. All I do is hold on to the relationships we already have. So, I mean, I would say about, I honestly can't even tell you, because I don't know, because he has other people that he'll put in there, like, just if he meets them or something, right? Like normal realtors, like, oh, they met a new dentist or whatever, it goes in our CRM. But I honestly couldn't tell you what specifically was our sphere of influence, just because the Lofty thing is 100% his world.
Respectfully beg to differ. I think if you're loving on that client base, you are generating business,
Sure.
in a way of thinking of it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm curious, when you think about your world, you kind of said, loving on the clients, is that database segregated into, like, okay, here's the people that you deal with, and everybody else goes on some sort of drip campaign or whatever?
Not in Lofty. Yes, but not in Lofty. So with me loving on the clients, so we have a VIP list, and then we have a regular list, and everyone gets invited to the regular events. Then we have a VIP list event that we do that. And so on Google, in my email, I have everyone's emails so that I can just email. Because my biggest complaint with any CRM is that you can usually tell it's coming from a CRM. And because we don't pay for one for me, because I just don't use it because we share, I don't like the way the emails spit out. And I want my clients to know when I'm emailing them that I sat down and took the time to email them. Where he'll send stuff out through Lofty and like newsletters and all that stuff that gets sent out to them. But when it comes to the client events or things like that, like, I know who I have, I know where they're at. They're in my Google, they're organized. They're labeled by like VIP, regular, what kind of events they go to. I even have our agents in there, who's what agent, who's client, who's VIP of that client or of that agent. So it's very organized, but it's in Google because that's just works best for me. So for when I can email them, because then they know they email me back, I'll get it immediately on my phone. Whereas Lofty, it just kicks it to Brandon's email.
And and I want to ask you about the main event in a little bit, but at this VIP dinner, and it doesn't have to be the last one that you did, but just in general, when you do these VIP gatherings, are you doing a concerted, like, everybody, ching, 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 everybody, I've got some things to say, or is it just an organic thing where, you're loving on them enough and during the communications leading up to it?
Always organic. So the only thing we ever speak is we say thank you. Otherwise, we don't really ever have speeches or anything. The vendors never actually want to talk. They're just like, no, they're always just happy to be there. But like the VIP dinner last year, I mean, Brandon and I, like I said, we started in 2020 and we didn't expect to be in real estate. And iconing 5 times, right? Like as baby realtors, because like realistically 5 years, you're still a baby. That is insane to us. Like the fact that we have that many people in our world that, and not all of them are Sphere. Like there's a big chunk of them that like we met from referrals or whatever, from EXP referrals. And like yesterday, Brand and I were on a boat yesterday with some clients that we'd met from an EXP referral, and they took us out on their boat. And so we have these events literally just to tell them that we love them so much, that like we are so grateful that we get to be in a circle with them, because we would not have half the stuff we have if they didn't put their trust in us to help them make the biggest financial decision of their lives. And so we don't like, oh, by the way, we have this, or, oh, we wanted you, like, we just, hey guys, thank you so much for coming. This means so much to us. We literally wouldn't be, I tell them every single time we get together, like, we wouldn't be here without you guys, especially our VIPs, because they send us the most amount of money, and I'm always very appreciative. I mean, the people we were on the boat with yesterday, like we thanked them like 7 times. They've done $3 million in business with us in 2 years. And so, we're just so blessed to have them. And so I literally wake up every day, like, what can I do for my clients? What can I do to give them an experience, or to give them to remember? Like we do school supplies. We buy school supplies for kids who don't have any. And we use, like the business, like SSG is going to do it, because we just constantly want them to know like how grateful we are that we get to be in the room with them because they chose us.
And I love that approach, and it certainly seems to have worked well for you guys. So we've been talking a little bit about the VIPs. Are they very clear about how they became a VIP, and how often and how are you asking for referrals and repeat business from these folks?
So when we send out the hey, congratulations, you've made it, it says you've made it because, and then there's like 3 reasons on there, like you sent us business or you shouted us out or whatever. So most of them are pretty clear. They know that like they're scratching our back. And they're not cocky about it per se, right? Like they're happy to refer us or whatever. But yeah, all of them mostly know like it's because they've given us business. We also buy, if we get a referral from a client, I will buy them a gift too. I'll be like, hey, so like if John Smith sent me, Betty Lou, when Betty Lou closes, I turn around and send them a gift card or a candle or a gift or something that says, thank you so much. Like, this is awesome. We just closed on Betty Lou's house. So the VIPs know why they're being loved on. We tell them like, hey, you're here because, so at the dinner, we did tell them like, we appreciate you guys. You're here because you did this for us. So yeah, they're very aware. The best thing about, I would say all of my clients, but specifically my VIPs, is they're always telling us like, you do too much. You don't have to do this. Like, why are you doing this? Don't buy us anything. Don't treat us or whatever. But I think one of the biggest things in real estate that people miss is that you literally are a part of the biggest transaction of their life. And it's not just the 3% buy, have a good day. Like those relationships, they're going to carry you for years, And so, Brandon heard one time, every client is worth 5 referrals. And we didn't used to ask for referrals. I wouldn't say we directly ask for them now, but after we heard that, we kind of shifted our mindset a little bit. And that's another thing is with the key rewards is I send it out and tell them like, hey, if you send me referrals, I'll give you, points, and those points you can cash in. So we're constantly telling our clients like, hey, if you scratch our back, like we'll scratch your back. But the VIPs, we really haven't had to ask for them. They kind of just like, oh yeah, here, have my friend or have my mom or whatever. It's some of the other clients that we just kind of have to teach them to do referrals. We have one client. He's amazing. We were just hanging out with him 2 weekends ago in Brenham. Love the guy. Never sent us a referral. Super nice guy. Did 3 transactions with us technically. Never sent us anything. And we were like, what is going on? Like the guy calls us, like we hang out with him, whatever. And then 1 year, he sent us 3 in 1 year. And now he just refers us to everybody. He's like, oh, hey, I'm talking to Bob down the street about you. Oh, hey, I went to Kroger and I told the guy at Kroger about you. And we're just like, so sometimes you have to tell them. Sometimes, yeah. I don't know. I think sometimes it just clicks for them and they're like, oh, I don't know. But never anything. And then one day, now I've done 3 extra transactions because of him.
You mentioned the point system, and I'm curious about that. It sounds like before I ask you about that, with your VIPs, is there sort of a rotating cast of characters, or is it pretty much the same folks
It's
from year
really
to
pretty
year?
much the same. If I remember correctly, one of my VIPs from this year was not on my VIP. I'd have to go back and check, but they were not on my VIP list last year. But for the most part, it's pretty rotating. So one family, we have done 3 transactions with them, and then they sent us 3 transactions, and one was last year, one was this year. So that's the other thing with our VIP list is like, once you're in, I'm not going to ever kick you out. I like, oh, you didn't send us referrals this year, you're out. Like, that's just crazy to me. I know there are some agents that they use those standards, and that's totally fine because it can get expensive, and I understand that. But for me, it's like, well, once you're in, you're in. Like, you've already given me so much value, and sure, it may not, maybe you just don't have any friends this year. That's okay. But for the most part, it's the same people, but new people do get added when they do send referrals or shout us out or give us a client or buy more houses.
If I'm one of your past clients, I'm going to get, I think you said somewhere around 8 touches. One of them is going to be about 6 touches because of the event, right? I'm going to get some sort of invite to that baseball game, and I might even get a gift if I refer somebody, and a gift when it closes. Is there anything else that you feel like you're really doing that would make that client always want to come back to you and always want to be referring to you?
I wouldn't say it's so much something that I'm doing on purpose. I'm on my Facebook a lot. I do stories on my Facebook, but I just talk about, like, I posted one about this meeting today. I was like, hey guys, I'm getting ready to be on like this interview to talk to, somebody with an EXP or whatever. And I'm extremely transparent. I have a lot of trauma, and I talk about that. I've gotten clients from that. And I've gotten people to reach out to me and be like, hey, like, I really resonate with that, or like, I see that, or I'm going through that. Or, I had a lady at EXPCon, I was on stage, and she's like, hey, I just like creeped on your Facebook, and I noticed like you've gone through some stuff like I've gone through. Like, how did you overcome that? And so it's not anything I'm purposely doing for clients, but it's something that has become a part of me and a part of my journey, and it has turned into business. And it wasn't something that I planned on, or something I planned to manipulate like my life to get business. But something that a lot of realtors miss out on, and a lot of realtors don't notice, is that, and I will say this until I'm blue in the face and dead on a hill, people need to know that you are just as simple as them. There are a lot of first-time homebuyers that have $7 in their bank account, and they're getting deviated by a house, but they're doing it. Brandon and I literally had no money. We had to save $60,000 to buy this house. We had to pay off every single piece of debt we had, both of our cars. Just last year alone, we were in the darkest place we'd been financially within real estate. And we iconed this year, and we iconed last year, and we were still like, and so something that I've noticed that really works for me is showing my clients and people who follow me on Facebook that I wake up with my hair up in weird ways, or, I have weird things going on, or I'll post a video with chocolate on my, like, just random normal human stuff, because people put realtors on a pedestal all the time, because they think that we make a bunch of money and that we drive Mercedes and whatever. And normal person, the average person, they don't relate to that. They're never going to relate to that. And most of our clients are first-time homebuyers and young couples. And so they deserve to see me every day, no matter what I look like, no matter how I'm dressed, because they're going to get me in any way that I am, whether they're buying $150,000 or whether they're buying $1 million. Like, will I dress a little nicer for the $1 million just because they may feel differently about it? Sure. But who I am is who I am. And I make sure that all my clients know that. And so when I post on my Facebook, I don't post political stuff. I don't post opinions about major issues, but I post me, and I talk about my trauma, and I talk about my journey, and I talk about how grateful we are. And I talk about the relationships that we make with our clients. Like I posted about the boat trip yesterday and how unbelievable it was that we got to be on a boat with a client. Like it's a client, like they're great friends now. Now they're friends. But like 3 years ago, they were clients. They were random people that were referred from another agent. And now we get to be on a boat for them. So not everyone is able to do that. And not everyone is comfortable doing that. It's taken me years to be on camera and to just be who I am. But it has 100% given me personally, like from my sphere, it has given me about 80% of my business just being who I am on Facebook.
You know, the thing that occurs to me as I talk to agents like yourself who specialize in your database, right, is we all as agents, we get on this treadmill without knowing it of lead generation, right? FISBOs, open houses, Instagram, whatever it is that you do. The number one regret of top agents that I hear constantly is I wish I had started my database earlier.
Yeah.
And what I hear from people who have and successfully work it is not that those other treadmills go away, because there's something that you always have to be replacing people within your database, right? Mm-hmm. And feeding it. But what I hear from them is that, number one, you get to do things like what you're talking about. Client events, and you even use the word loving on people, right? Yeah. And the thing that I hear from agent after agent, I was talking with Tina in Hawaii, I was talking with another agent just the other day, and they were all talking about their past clients and their, what you call your VIP, your top tier of your sphere, as friends. As friends. It's interesting because of the way in which you work that segment of your database. We talk about finding your tribe. Is it that tends to be hyper? I mean, on steroids, when you're working systems like you're working, those people become really close to you. Do you find the same for your business?
Oh, 100%. Example, last year I went to a bridal shower, a bachelorette, a baby shower, and 2 birthdays of people that I met as clients, right? They came to me to buy or sell a house, and then I'm a part of their life. and they're intertwined in mine, right? And so like, one of our clients, I've known her for 9 years. We sold her a house completely for free. We made 0 commission because the appraiser, it was during COVID, the appraiser just shellacked the deal. And everyone's like, she worked so hard for this house. We all gave up our commission since girl could buy this house. And she texts me all the time. And she's like, hey girl, like what's going on? Or we'll talk or whatever. Like, so many of our clients become friends. And that's why when I tell people, like when we interview new clients, we tell them about our tagline, real relationships, real estate. And when we tell them like, we mean that, like we have gone to one of the referrals, I've never referred us, one of the referrals he'd gotten, this guy's name is John, and they were moving out. They were pulling the washer out, and they busted a pipe at midnight. And they called us freaking out. And I was like, we're coming. And he's like, no, I was like, we're on our way. And he was like, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't know, but we're on our way. And so we drove out to his house. We brought every single towel we owned, and because they were flooding, and we took it. And I literally looked and I said, oh, I'm getting that. It was a bottle of Woodford whiskey. And I grabbed the whiskey and I grabbed the towels, and we drove to her house, and we knocked on the door, and I'm like, are we ready? And he just starts bawling. He just starts crying. And 100% really good friends now. And we met them 9 months ago. And I mean, I hosted, like when we had that snowstorm, I hosted a snowman contest. I'm like, oh, put a snowman, I'll buy you a gift card. And their son won. And so I sent him a gift card. And so all of our clients that we click with, which is a very big number, honestly, we are so blessed in that area. They are our friends. They become our friends. We text them. Half of my phone, like it's actually embarrassing because my text messages, you probably can't, but like it'll scroll forever because I don't get rid of anything. I can't, because these are all conversations with clients and friends. And I can't, like, I have to keep the conversation because like, what if I want to go back to it, which I usually always do. So I mean, 100%, not all of them, I mean, there are some, like I said, they're business or they're engineers or whatever, and it's just cut and dry and they only want one thing, and that's okay. but we've definitely made huge relationships and huge friendships within real estate, and have been able to build a life and a circle of friends around that just because we got a real estate license.
Yeah. I always say cool people know cool people. And if you work by referral business, we got to be careful with the language we use. You kind of get to pick the clients that you work with, right? And, their housing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It just, and I'm not talking about, that's right. And I'm not talking about ethnic groups or anything crazy.
No. Just
cool people,
walks of life, or the way you click, or a lot of our clients, they're just us in different ages. And we've noticed that. We're like, oh my gosh, like that makes, like, that's a client we would work with, right? And so I completely see that, because that's a lot of our clients are that way as well. A lot of the ones that have turned friends are just people like us. They have the same views, they have the same life, they have, it's just you bob and weave with the same people.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for doing this. This is a great conversation.